working on kingdom building, but the headmaster has sent me a missive. Are you available to have a conversation? I suppose I am. The second trial's tomorrow. I haven't been at the academy grounds. I am. Are you wanting to meet now? How is my backpack? If my backpack will open, it is feeling like the zipper's stuck. Let's see if we could. All right. Give me a few minutes. I am at my kingdom building. I assume meeting at your office. Let's see. Fellfolk dorms. 1-2 incident 8-6. It's Fellfolk. Incident 19. Yes, okay, Fellfolk. I have to just run over to my house, though. I have one of these coarse fruits. They're growing out front of the dorm, and I want to plant one myself, but it looks like I need the end stone that is on it. I don't have any end stones, so I have to ask around for if anyone has any of that. Lady Daphne has been hard at work on her house. I've taken a look for the tokens that are apparently hidden around the academy, and I was a bit late to getting to it, unfortunately. I found a good number. Hello. I found a good number of them, of the chest, but all the chests I found were empty, so perhaps I will take a quick nosy at some of the chest locations again, just in case they got more put in. I don't entirely know how this works, on if it's the set number or if it is being refilled. Oh, perfect. My mana waystone's still here. That makes things convenient for when I need to go back. Feel bad. I had pretty much told Lady Luciole, oh, I will make you a proper bed in our dorm room, and I've been at Kingdom Building and experiencing the world. Even though the trials are going on, I don't want to give up on hearing the world chime. I want to talk to Lord Leonide to start taking the potions again, but I don't want to take them today, just in case there's a personality alter. I don't want that affecting my performance tomorrow. So I thought maybe taking them tomorrow would be more suitable for me. No, I've just been passively trying to do things. And with Kingdom Building underway, there is an assignment due soon. It's for the villager housings. No one has decorated. I've built and decorated multiple houses. Lady Daphne and Lord Felix have built the shell, or started on the shell of some houses. But I don't think they're yet decored in a way to suit the requirements for the assignment. Lord Bugle. Hello. But we shall see. It's a matter of I remember where all the chests were, because I was very thorough in my search. I combed every inch of the school ground and found a good number of chests. It's just a matter if there's anything in them. That's the hard part, is if No one else has beat me to it, and I know it's because I looked late. I don't know how well my court's performing. I have not spoken to anyone recently. No one has reached out, and I haven't reached out. I am outside. Let me eat it before going.
Hello.
Greetings.
If you want to come over here. Let me just make a space quickly.
All right. Here.
Hello, how are you doing?
I've been busy at Kingdom building, so I guess good besides that.
There's two things I need to speak with you about. One being Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
I've been briefly made aware of some situation where she is not acting like herself. And Lizzaylia has been kicked out of her dormitory, or is...
She was not kicked out. I asked her if she wanted to move into my dorm room, and she agreed.
Mm-hmm. And have you spoken with Daphne? Has she explained why her behavior is how it is currently?
I have lectured her. I have not had the sit down I'm needing to have with her yet. But I hit on it briefly post the prince's birthday about her treatment of Lady Lizzaylia. I spoke to both of them separately. And I just have not seen Daphne again to have the proper conversation since the initial one was much too short for my liking.
Of course. If you have another conversation, if I could be, I'd like to be privy to that, just to see if there's anything the Academy itself can help with, or if you'd rather speak with her first privately and let me know if there's anything the Academy can do to help.
It would be privately, because it would be a multiple topics being brought up, some of them being her romantic prospects, so.
That is fine then. The other is something to do with the trials. I cannot go into much detail. However, I will need you specifically to help with a trial.
I see.
You will, if you are fine with it, you will be brought to a location at the end of the day where you will have to stay, or you can be brought there in the morning if you have some things you need to do tonight. Pre-trial. And that will be setting you up for the trial for tomorrow.
I see. I'm fine going there tonight. Is it nether? My body does not do well in the nether.
No, it is the overworld.
All right.
I will ask that you do not communicate with your court as either during that time when you are in the location. They will find out about it, of course, but they don't need to know that you are being taken for the trial. We can ensure your absolute safety there.
That sounds suspicious. All right, I see. That's all right.
It is just to prevent any cheating, I suppose, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to pry into details too much. You're asking for my help? Is it an heir thing? Is Tavali being asked to?
It is a heir thing, but only the head heirs.
I see.
Had you not been okay with it or had to go back to court, then Tavali would have been involved. But as of right now, it is just yourself.
Mm-hmm. And how many people would know of my location if I am somewhere without guards?
So there will be guards stationed, my own personal guards on the outside to ensure that everything is fine. Professor-wise, there will be myself and one other professor aware of your location at all time.
I see. Yes, that is fine by me then.
The groundskeeper will also be in the know.
feel like I
So
never see the groundskeeper, so I think the last...
he really it comes and goes whenever he pleases.
I do think the last time I actually laid eyes on him was the winter ball and him dancing with, I think, Lord Dante.
Ah, that's I did not know about that.
Aside from that, I think he might just ignore me, because I know other people see him and mention him, but I just do not.
Hmm. He was there at the other trial, the first trial.
Oh, correction. So I did see him then.
He is very hard to miss. He wears this very big hat, and I do not know why.
Sun protection. Sunburns suck.
Yes, the
That wasn't very formal language.
groundskeeper is a very enjoyable person to be around at times.
I'm sure.
But yes, it will be for the duration of the trial. You will be in said location. The actual trial itself will be revealed to you tomorrow, so you will know what is fully happening then. But as long as you're comfortable with myself taking you to a secure and undisclosed location, then all is well.
I am going to say that is fine, but typically people do not approach me and ask to take me to a undisclosed location.
Yes, I understand how concerning it can come across, which is why I thought it best to ask rather than abruptly come in and say that I need to take you somewhere.
Yes, I appreciate at least asking first than kidnapping? Catnapping?
I suppose it would be most similar to it.
But yes, you have my approval. I was hoping to speak to some of my court members today, but after I get those conversations finished, I will be fine to leave whenever then.
Perfect. I shall come find you by the end of the day. Well, that is everything I need to speak with you about. If you don't have anything you need to speak with me about.
Not that I'm aware of, but yes, I do. Regarding Daphne, I do know her and Lizzaylia have been having issues. I will say, from my talks with both of them individually, the suspicion, or my suspicion currently is more so they're not used to being in close proximity for such extended periods of time. They were interacting weekly back at court, but living in the same small dorm room, I'm sure, had its own fair share of things, and Daphne is hard to get along with at times.
I see.
But I will try to make sure I get that settled, and I will inform you of the conversation.
Of course, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Farewell then.
Have a good day.
You as well. And Lizzaylia's complaining to the headmaster about Daphne. Did she tell him that she got kicked out of her dorm room? What do you mean kicked out of her dorm room? I offered her to move into mine. I wanted to check the points too. I'll have to walk back that way again. I just checked these. I doubt they're refilled already. Suspecting we're second? 65, 40, 50, 30. Seems to despite the politeness of it, in the meeting we had, the headmaster did not care for my input then. It's annoying. How does it make sense that Cinderloon scored higher than Solmera? Yes, they finished faster, but the times are irrelevant. The times lost relevance when it was discovered that they had a 25% chance to pick the correct stone, Meanwhile, we had a 0% chance of finding the correct stone in our mazes. Of course they're going to finish prior to us. Our maze had a wall in place that blocked off a significant portion of it. Annoying. I don't think... Do they even get replenished? They do get replenished. I think they just haven't been since I looked. I have 2 tokens, I believe, from the trial itself. There's one more location I'm going to briefly check. And I am going to go back to the dorms then. I need to have my conversation with Lady Daphne. It has been put off too long. It's not even intentionally being put off. It's... There was no chance to prior to the school break. Then back at court, I was constantly busy with event after event, meeting after meeting. Since I hadn't been at court in 6 months. 7 months? My presence was needed. Check the chest here too. No. And we got back to the academy immediately. I did the trial. I pretty much very quickly after was exhausted and went to bed. And then we have kingdom building assignments coming due soon, and I've been focused on that. Should the soul be handling dispute between members? Absolutely, I should be. As should the members. They should be working on kingdom building. Yet, instead, I have to pick up their slack. And it's costing me time for my obligations. It's frustrating. I have been working on relations with the villagers at Suncrest. It is the name that I decided to call our kingdom building, some others' input. But I'm going to head back to the academy. I was already planning to head back, but I also got a message from the prince. We're near the dorms. I am. I have just returned from kingdom building. Send that reply off for him. Oh, it is still raining. It's been raining all the day. All the day. I don't think it hasn't not rained. And I have not run into Lady Daphne, but I think if I'm going to run into her, I want it to be for the... I want to plan a proper sit-down conversation with her. Especially now that the headmaster has also been brought into it. And was under the impression that Daphne kicked Lizzaylia out of their dorm room. She wasn't forced to leave the dorm room. I gave her the option. She could have declined. Had she declined, I would have moved Daphne into my dorm room. Daphne was the one who was not going to get a choice. If Lizzaylia did not want to move into my dorm room, Daphne would have been ordered to. Nothing new there. I'm waiting for his response. I have returned from kingdom building. Oh, he's at my balcony. Oh, okay. I was not expecting him to be at my balcony. He should have a stockpile of my blood already. I'm happy to see him. Just wasn't on... It wasn't expected. Do we want to take this up here? I am sharing my dorm room now.
You're quite quiet.
How is this?
Better.
Is it still quiet, or is it...
A bit, yes, but...
Okay, this is the loudest I can speak up.
That works.
Seems out of breath.
Suppose I haven't had a chance to check in
Why is there always something
since
on the edge?
break or even a bit before. How have you been?
I think the better question is, how have you been? You're the one that had a more chaotic and have to be on the road to recovery.
It's a, like a difficult road with everything upon us. I feel like I don't exactly get the privilege of resting up. There's
No.
trial preparations, there's tea parties and meetings, and court member requests this, court member requests that.
Yes, the duties and obligations never stop.
Truly.
For me, I hadn't returned to court until this break, so this was the first time I was back in Donmere and in the Solmera region as a whole. So I was pulled every which way for meetings and doing obligations. As I mentioned, I'm sharing my dorm room now. Lady Lizzaylia has become my roommate. She and Lady Daphne have had issues all school year, and prior to the break, I was going to separate them, and the easiest thing was to bring one to me.
Interesting.
You would think that they would be able to behave, but Lady Daphne seems to not be able to. I don't think Lady Lizzaylia is without fault, but Lady Lizzaylia hasn't done things that could potentially bring the other to harm. So, I have Lizzaylia with me, so if Daphne does think to try something, she won't.
Smart.
I know they've been
Does
back
make
and
it
forth.
scary you're stopping by.
I'm sorry it didn't come to mind. I wasn't expecting you to let you know. I had Lady Celica, I was lightly informed, I believe. I actually don't know if I told her or not. She stopped in shortly before I moved Lady Lizzaylia in.
She'd mentioned you two had talked at some point. I wasn't aware you guys were... Well, you did have that meeting, but...
Well, you were incapacitated, unconscious, and we had no idea if or when you were going to regain consciousness. So, she wanted to speak with all the heirs, I assume, to get as much information as she could. I wanted to speak with her because I needed to see where I stood with her. She was informed, especially because of the week break, and you being injured and me not knowing if I would be around. She was informed that you need my blood. The reason why she met me here was she took a few bottles to have on hand in case you needed it when you woke up.
Do you want it back?
I have no purpose for them at this point.
It might help to have your insides inside.
I do think that if I were to consume blood that has been out of my body for 2 weeks, that it would do more harm than good.
It'll cycle back in.
I don't think so. No, I arrived back here and pretty much immediately had to come and do the first trial, which went poorly given our maze was impossible.
Oh.
Our stone was in a locked off section of the maze with no entry to it. And despite that being the case, it seems the scores were still ranked by order of finish when ours was enclosed for 30 minutes.
They didn't allow a retake or anything?
No.
They just...
When I had spoke to the headmaster, I spoke to them right after the maze, after everyone had finished, and I asked him how the scoring was taking place. I asked him if it was going to be like a 1 in 4 type ranking, and he had told me, no, it is not. There's a minimum point everyone is going to earn because they finished it, and then stuff would be affected based on performance. And I had brought up the fact that I don't believe time should be any type of contender. Except, honestly, I was fine with your court did, because your court did finish absurdly quick. But I didn't think the time should be what determined the rankings, or the heaviest sway in the rankings, for them messing up the maze. But, alas, no. We found all 3 fake stones, and one of the fake stones, the last one we found, is what dropped us into the part of the maze that was enclosed, and then we spent 2 minutes exploring that enclosed section, not able to get out with the correct stone, until they realized, oh, they are trapped. So frustrating.
So the entire time you couldn't even get into the right area, and then... That's ridiculous.
So I'm not happy with the point rankings. I think their scoring method should have been reevaluated under the circumstances than what they decided to go with. But not much I can do about it. I am just hoping that I can make up points in other ways.
The tip that I can pass along to you, as long as it, I guess, stays between us. Balin mentioned to me to study up on the class materials. I believe for tomorrow's.
I see. I know I'm
plan
well
to-
studied, at the very least. I don't know about my court.
Did Balin talk to you or hand you any book?
I didn't receive a book from him, but he did tell me that myself and the head heirs were going to be... He had ordered it to an undisclosed location, and I said, that sounds incredibly suspicious. But ultimately...
Unknown location to me. And that he and 2 others will be aware of the location, and I supposedly will not be there for long.
Yeah, he mentioned I had brought up safety concerns, and he brought up that his own guards would be stationed. And so I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think the headmaster gains anything from eliminating me. So I'm fine to play along. And I was told that he was going to be... I think he's the one that knows where I am going, and that it might be different teachers per, but as long as it wasn't Professor Castiel, I was fine either way. I don't trust him with my safety.
Let me make you a bunker.
I never got that bunker.
Nor did I. It got brought up right after Sunderloon starts harassing us, and then it just never came back up. Just had the worst timing, and I've had a sour taste in my mouth with him since.
I know when he brought it up to me, it was the day after a conversation of us arguing. I'm like, oh, yes.
Was it just an attempt for him to save face?
I don't know. Because the topic of argumenting was me not believing he actually was thinking through the implications of his actions and the safety and risk of safety he was demanding of me. Because it was for the Wither fight. He was not happy that I implied he did not care for student safety. So we had a lot of back and forth, and then the day after he was like, bunker. I'm like, I thought we went over this. I don't trust you with my safety. I was cordial. I accepted, but obviously I don't have it. I think if I need a bunker down somewhere, I might go into one of the secret rooms at the academy, in all honesty.
That, or I think there's a giant... The structure of the manor is hollow, as dangerous as that might be. I think I could get away with hiding there for a bit.
Oh, yeah, there's... Behind this wall, there is a window that you can see through, and it leads to just like a 3-wide room behind where my bed used to be.
Oh.
Sorry, I do things by natural.
Oh, yeah. I liked the bed there.
I didn't think it would be appropriate for me to keep my bed largely in the center and Lady Luciala be shoved off to a corner. But she moved herself in, and she still just stuck herself in as little space as possible in the corner. As I rearranged everything, I got all of my belongings moved up here, like my jewelry box and misc items. Did you find any of the items that were hidden around the school?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't know if my court has or not. I went looking last night, albeit I'm sure I was late to the search.
That's right, yeah.
I found many chests, all empty.
We got one for finishing the maze quickly, I believe.
I had found 2 in the maze itself.
I haven't had the time to, I suppose, run around looking at anything. I also trying to avoid being on my feet where possible.
Well, do you want to go check? I can always carry you.
Perhaps another day.
I don't know if this might just have been this week occurred. So I don't know if there will be another day to search for them.
See, I fear if you lift me now, I'm going to fall asleep in your arms.
Mateo has plenty of napping spots around the academy grounds. I can stick you in one of them.
I'll consider it.
Baskets and trap doors.
Baskets and trapdoors is...
Has there been any leads on the culprit to the explosion?
No, not yet. There's, I think, thoughts, but nothing with enough evidence. My stance on it at current is I think that with all of the nobles around, the people who are committing violent or criminal actions are making sure they do it meanly, well, leaving nothing behind. So I wouldn't be shocked if this leads nowhere.
It is concerning, since if they failed once, they're likely to still try again, but with greater extremes.
And if they have to take it to greater extremes, we at least know that I need increased protection at the moment. And then another action lets us build somewhat of a profile. We can check for more evidence, might enlighten us at the previous incident. It's morbid, but as long as I'm able to keep myself protected and stay wary, then I suppose we'll find them eventually if they're stupid enough to even try again.
Something that's always bothered me since coming to the academy was that I wasn't permitted to bring my guards with me, the guards I trust that have supervised me since I was young.
I've thought pretty much the same. Wondered if I could write home and request at least a few standing Bloodrun Knights to stand guard around the dorm or kingdom building.
Headmaster Phelan says he has people watching around, but if they get past them and do get to me, I don't exactly have any combat prowess past fighting the undead to really defend myself. I am prone to running, but if I cannot run, I'm not going to fight well.
We built an arena at Kingdom Building. I built it. And I can't say I'm the best in combat training, but I can at least attempt to teach you a few stances and swings.
That might be needed. I had asked Seven about it in the past, and there's been some knowledge, but he isn't really staying at the academy anymore.
No. Unfortunate to hear.
No, he's at Kingdom Building, so he's close,
Oh,
but...
okay. I don't know if I've seen him around.
He lasted much longer at the academy than I necessarily expected. He has always... At home, he would slip away often. So I'm impressed he made it the amount of time he did at the academy before no longer showing. He built his house, and I think he moved right in, and he hasn't been back. My house is finally decorated to an extent. Not the top floors, but the entry, the bottom level.
I'm excited to see it once I'm perhaps a little more ready to move. It was a time getting over here, if I'm being honest. My bat form's still weak after everything. And realistically, I'm still not in peak shape. Have you ever had, I suppose, your life on the line? Like my explosion. You ever had anything like that?
There have been assassination attempts, but none that properly made it to me past poison incidents, but I think a common thing, I'm unsure on others, but I was raised to consume little bits of poison, so even if I were to get a full dose in a meal, it wouldn't be as bad as it could be.
Do I need to worry about that seeping into the... When it all went up, I feel like I was drifting in between, clinging on to being awake and not. I know for a fact that Celica cried. She denies this fact, but I remember there being a lot of voices. And then out. And, not to sound crazy, but I had this, I guess, dream. It was weird. It was, I guess, sensory. I couldn't see much of anything, but there was a sort of spatial awareness. That makes sense. I mean, it feels different closing your eyes in a tight closet. You can feel that you're in a tight space. Even if you're not touching anything besides the floor, you just have that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see anything. Not for a lack of light. I mean, I could see myself. But past that, it was just this hallway stretching far down. And at the end of it, my mother was playing a piece. And I felt this, I had to get to her. I had to run. I had to see her. And as I ran through this hallway, it's getting narrower and narrower. Felt like it was lined with doors just through my life. Memories of her, memories of Tavian getting accustomed to me not knowing how to deal with a kid. Meeting my Viscounts for the first time. To my first galas, suit fittings. Having to lead a meeting across the court rather than my father. All these little moments and everything important to me, every like formative moment. And by the end, there's a lot of the academy, a lot of people I've met here. And I left it with, when I woke up, I had this itch, this I don't know how to word it, but I had to win for everyone at Everthorne, everyone at home. Feels like everything's been leading to this. But the other thing that I was left with was I feel like you've been there throughout my entire life. I mean, far, but there. And
Where is this going?
I don't know how to say it or broach it, but I know that we, I suppose, had our chance. We had an opportunity, and it wasn't exactly our choice, but I don't think I ever stopped looking to it.
We did have our chance.
For a, for a lack of any better term. Since the day that we first got to meet, make you laugh with some stupid joke, there's been a place inside my heart that I've always felt is filled when I'm with you. I know that we don't have the same things tying us together anymore, but
That's what I
That's what
wanted,
I'm-
wasn't it?
trying to get at is that I I've loved you, and I do love you still. I haven't ever stopped. And I understand if that might not be something that I suppose you reciprocate. I understand we come from such different backgrounds and circumstance. But I
How do I respond to this?
almost died without, I guess, getting to tell you this, and I don't want that to happen again.
I don't know how I feel. Or I do, but I'm sure you've already thought about both of our positions. And regions that require our attention. I suppose I am conflicted On one hand, I'm happy to know that you view me fondly. But on the other hand, there is sadness to it. I know we spoke after the Rose Festival, and I know we view some things differently. As it stands, I am the soul of my court, trying to become a queen, and there is an important trial tomorrow, so I don't think I can currently give you an answer.
Right.
You do make me happy, Prince Ezra. I can tell you that much for certain.
What? Let you rest up. I'll see you tomorrow.
I will give you a definitive answer soon.
Of course, there's no rush.
This is what I wanted, right? I wanted him to feel the same way about me that I feel about him. I did. I do. I'm happy he does. It actually makes me really happy, but on the same hand, it makes me want to cry an even amount. We had our chance. He said so himself. But our situation... Our situations... have not really changed, aside from the competition for the crown. He is to be sovereign. Yes, he has viscounts, should something happen to him to replace him. But that's only if something is to happen to him, and that would cause the passage of sovereign to leave his family's line. And I am to be sole. 7 rejected the position. And Tavali already has a great number of responsibilities with her promise to the church. If I accept his affections, it means one of us has to abandon our post. And I am the soul, and I am responsible for duties and obligations to my court. I make the decisions so they don't have to. And my personal feelings do not hold the same weight as looking at a situation for what is for the best for my court. Neither of our courts are in the lead right. Neither of us are in the lead right now. If one of us were to win, then yes. Logically, it can be argued that the best outcome for our court would be marriage, because even if it means I won't be sole or soulless, it means I will be a queen and I can protect my court's interests that way. But if we don't, if neither of us don't, I can't put my desire for Ezra above the needs of my court. I can't abandon them. I'm not allowed to abandon them. They put their faith in the Solmeras. They put their faith in the blessing of the sun and the moon, that we, with the blessings, won't abandon them, that we will guide them, and that we will carry the weight for them and care for them. Seven disgraced his obligation. He was given another chance at the academy, and he left. What type of Solmera would I be? What type of soul would I be if I did the same? If I decided that ensuring the prosperity of my court is less important because I want to do something different. I am privileged. I have access to all the finest things. I get access to nearly anything I want. I just have to ask. But that privilege comes with expectations and responsibilities I have to uphold. I don't get to just enjoy these luxuries, enjoy my life as I have been. And when the timing is most important, abandon all the faith they have put in me. That's not fair to them. Senjaloon, what is demonic, democratic, they are for the people. Their people make the decisions. They have power in things, and I don't think it is the proper ruling style, because by having the power in things, if they make the wrong decision, then the many suffer. Me, I make the decisions for my court. And I have to make the right ones. I was always raised that I am meant to be perfect. Raised to uphold etiquette. Raised with high expectations. Was it hard? Yes. Were there times where I wished I was someone different? Admittedly, yes, but that is me being immature and childish, and I am not someone else. I don't have different circumstances. I am me. I am the soul And the entire court back home looks to me. I was stupid. I do love him. It infuriates me to see him with others. But how can I act possessive over him? Because instinctually, I understand where Lady Daphne's coming from with her aggravation towards Lady Lizzaylia regarding Lord Leonidas. Lady Daphne felt, in a way, I'm sure, that she had claim over him. And Lizzaylia got in the way of what Daphne was considering hers. And in that, I understand, because if anyone was with the prince besides me, I'm not sure how I would manage. I would have to manage. I'm obligated to manage. Could I even be a good soul if I go to banquets and I see him with a different bride? Will I be able to still be a good soulless? I don't know logically. Why did I keep trying to court him? It's not like these are new concerns. I've known these concerns. I've known things between me and him can't work out, or would be messy to work out. But when you spoke to me, it always makes me really happy. Well, most times. Valentine's Day, not so much. But normally, I look forward to speaking with him. And I was selfish. Instead of maintaining just a formal, professional relationship, I gave in to my feelings and responded to him more genuinely. And now, I think it's just gonna make this hurt for both of us so much worse. And I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. My selfishness is gonna hurt both of us. How am I supposed to face him? If it's going to be to tell him. Do I even say that I do love you? Do I even hurt him in that way? To say I do love you, but I can't be with you? Is that crueler? I think that's too cruel. I have to focus on the trial tomorrow. Just one step at a time. That's all I need to do.